Check, check, check. Mic. Level's not too high. All right, that's cool. I just got some hot sauce in my eye, I think, because I had some wings for dinner.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Carl Mizell.
And we are joined once again by the man who got a haircut, Josh Fekete. This is a podcast about smutty books and many jokes. Welcome.
And haircuts.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, thank you for coming back. And look at that. Are you rocking the Shure SM58?
I am, yes.
Hell yeah.
It's a fancy
Finally got my my recorder and everything set back up for the other podcast I do, so I'm on a little better quality equipment this time.
Hell yeah. What kind of audio face you rocking over there, bud?
I have a Zoom H6.
I love my Zoom H6.
I got very, very lucky, and I had a friend who worked at Best Buy and was able to get me a store discount on top of some gift cards I already had, so I think I paid about roughly $200 below retail for, so I got very, very lucky.
I've got a Zoom, and I've got this Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 here, baby. It's so sweet. Yeah. But enough about all that nerdy tech stuff. How's everybody? Let's start with the lady of the hour. Katie, how you doing, hon?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm so tired.
Yeah. Let's clip through this bad boy and put you to bed.
Oh my god. I just need to be like horizontal now.
Yeah, this whole week I think it seems for whatever reason for everybody has just been a real dragon ass kind of week.
It's the week after daylight savings, which I wish
that's
we could
true,
just do away with already. But
seriously, they already got rid of it in Arizona?
Oh, Arizona, parts of Indiana. Like that's the funny thing is it's not.
I think Nevada never did it. Like Nevada from the jump was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah. Who would have thought that a state whose most well known city that was started by crooks and thieves,
right?
A den of thieves.
America's Australia, as it were.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know if that's more offensive to Australia or Las Vegas, but we'll let the audience decide. Probably.
You know who doesn't care? New Zealand.
No.
That's true.
They're like, no, we're not Australia or Nevada, so fuck it.
Kiwis are like, fuck them.
Yeah, we're all good. Squirrely Dan, big fellow over here. This big orange cat just staring at your beautiful bearded face going, who's this guy?
As one does.
Yeah.
I have that effect.
Well, like I said, we there's really no need to dip too much into niceties. We're all dragon ass.
Yeah, we all know who we are.
We all know who we are. We've all been here before. So on this week's episode, we are covering the second book in a series of books. What is the name of that series again?
The Villainous Things series.
The Villainous Things series by C. Rochelle. And if you haven't gone back and listened to the first episode, the episode number of which, do you remember the episode number?
Nope.
Well, we did the first book in the series, Not All Himbos Wear Capes, and that one is already available. And right here is where I am going to cut in a little recap that Josh is going to voice over. And we're going to do it in sort of a 90s cartoon Saturday morning cartoon style. So we're going to do that now.
Superheroes are real, and so are supervillains. Blessed with enhanced strength, speed, and agility, and unique superhuman abilities, these soups are beholden to a strict hero versus villain model. Heroes are indentured to the wealthy elite in service to the city. Villains are villains, no matter where they are. These roles have made soups rich, famous, even infamous, but have also inspired a racist and classist society which regards villains as genetically inferior to villains and humans, aka normies. That is, until hero Captain Masculine and villain Dr. Anti-Hero met in their normie lives as Butch and Xander, fell in love, discovered they were super soulmates, had so much geeky daddy sex, and uncovered a decades-long conspiracy. All soups are genetically identical and equal. I didn't mean to say identical. The separation of villain and hero was manufactured by the wealthy for power and control. After a few grand machinations, an epic battle, and some sly political intervention, Xander's parents, the villainous Apocalypto Man and Glacial Girl, are dead, leaving their eldest son Wolfgang as the new head of the Suarez clan. Butch's father, Vortexio, is also dead, and his corporate handlers have lost control. We are stepping into a new age of superhumans. One where they control their own destiny, make their own rules, and probably do a whole lot of fucking.
And we're back.
And now you're all caught up. So now that you're all caught up with the brief synopsis of the first book, you can go back and listen to the whole episode if you'd like. But if not,
Episode 26, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Episode
Fast
26. Yeah.
And 29.5 on the author profile for a Zero Shell, which was
that's
so
right.
good, by the way.
Wasn't
Oh,
it?
man.
Isn't she great?
She was an absolute blast to listen to. She's really funny.
Oh, yeah, our author profiles. Go listen to the author profile of C. Rochelle. Go listen to the author profile of Gwendolyn Harper.
Yep.
And then we'll announce the next one at the end of the episode.
Yes, we will.
But in the interim, what's the name of this book?
Do this thing. This is Gentlemen Prefer Villains. Book 2 in the Villainous Things series by C. Rochelle. It is available for $4.99 or through Kindle Unlimited. You can also buy it in paperback. And I think she has special editions on her website. I haven't checked lately. I have trigger warnings and content and tropes, so we're just going to go right through them.
Do it.
Just like last time, the trigger warnings list is like 2 pages long. So I pulled the pertinent stuff, but there's more. So if you decide to read this book, please double check your triggers. So trigger warnings for violent battle scenes and gore, life-threatening situations and death, mentions of past parental abuse, including superpowered abuse, sexual assault on page. Our content and tropes, this is an MM or Achillean book, so all of the gay stuff, anal, rimming, frauding. She says felching, but felching doesn't actually happen in this book. I don't want to be pedantic with you, C. Rochelle, but that was not felching. Anyway.
Is it because it was a crazy straw and not like a bendy straw?
No, because there was no straw.
It's just one of the wacky super cereal spoons.
Oh my God. No. Yes.
It would be the most slow-moving thing ever.
God,
It was actually a felching keg stand.
It's like when you get a milkshake that's not quite thawed enough, and you just like suck so hard your fillings come out.
Oh my God.
And we haven't even gotten through the goddamn content warning.
My goal was to top the clown thing from last episode,
my
so I wanted to
God.
try and come out of the gate hot and heavy.
Well, you've done it.
The clown thing was so good, though.
Oh,
this is,
man.
this is the second episode we've had Josh on where we have discussed the various implements we could use to eat cum. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves?
The next time I'm
a sucker for a theme.
Yeah, next time I'm in Cleveland hanging out with Josh, I'll ask him.
Yeah, okay. Ask him, please. Okay, so our other contents are fated mates, hurt comfort, size difference, leather kink, exorbitant gifts bordering on financial domination but not quite, biting, marking, bruising, hand necklaces, primal play, spit kink, intense spit kink, consensual non-consent, and 2 psychopaths in love.
Oh.
No, it's so cute.
Do you think the size difference thing is the only thing this has in common with Of Mice and Men?
It's been a long time since I read Of Mice and Men.
Well, one of them's big, one of them's little.
Yeah, they're not brothers. I can give you that much right now. And there's no bunny.
I was gonna say don't.
No, that's not true.
Oh no!
Not a rabbit. We'll get there. Okay. So
No, I can't wait.
now that we've heard Josh's wonderful recap, I'm just gonna lay the groundwork here for us. So it's business as usual between the heroes and the soups after everything went down at the end of the last book. The heroes are now freelance, but they still choose to protect normies because they're like good or whatever. And villains continue to be villains because it's the only thing they know how to do. Plus, it's violent and profitable. So why stop?
Works for the NFL. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have to change. Why should the villains?
Nope.
Our MMCs this week, or male main characters, are Wolfgang Suarez.
Wolfie.
He is big, 6'6", beefy. Their heritage is Argentinian and Icelandic.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. He is a darker in skin color than his other siblings.
Okay.
They have dark hair and dark eyes. He is perpetually clad in a black-on-black suit with black leather gloves, which he wears as a courtesy because he is the hand of death.
Oh, that's right.
Anyone he touches dies on contact. Normies, or humans, their heads explode if he touches them. And soups, he can slowly drain their life force. The stronger the soup is, the longer he has to hold on. But he can kill anybody. Nobody is immune to him. He has recently taken the position of head of the Suarez clan after orchestrating the deaths of his parents, Apocalypto Man and Glacial Girl. And he's doing the best he can. Our other MMC is named Simon Aleri. He is a normie. He's a twink. He's a teeny tiny man. They call him the Tiny Tyrant in the book. He's 5 feet tall and like little and compact. And his mother is French and his father is Austrian. And he speaks with that fantastic Austrian accent like Hercule Poirot.
Oh, yes.
So it's French. It's like if French and British had a baby.
Okay.
It's a great accent.
Yeah. Interesting.
He is incredibly stylish and like acquisitive. I guess he's high maintenance. He likes presents. And he has been raised by a wealthy mother. His mom is a professional marrier. Beautiful and marries rich men.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. He is he's really intelligent. He's very clever and he is a brat. He is sassy and bratty. I love him. So apparently I was talking to C. Rochelle about this yesterday, or a couple days ago. I love Simon, like with my entire heart. I think he's my favorite MMC I've ever read. He's so great. But apparently he's super divisive and a lot of people don't like him. In her fan base, some people are like, Simon's the worst. Whoever you are, I will meet you in whatever alley you want. And I'll beat your ass.
Well, I was going to say politely discuss it.
No, I won't politely discuss shit. That's the queen. I'm beating your ass.
All right. I tried.
Gauntlets are being thrown on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he currently lives in Big City, but is desperate to leave Big City by any means necessary. He's only there because he was trying to improve his estranged relationship with his father, Franz Onit, who is Xander's therapist. It's just sort of in there as a connection. It doesn't really ever come up again, but Simon's dad is Xander's therapist.
Okay.
So there you go. The beginning of our book. Let's get started. Simon is in an interview/interrogation for a new temp job, the personal assistant to one Mr. S. The questions that he is being asked lead him to believe that Mr. S is probably part of the mafia or something like that, but he doesn't care. He just wants to get out of Big City. He doesn't care if he's working for criminals to do that. And then, in the middle of his interview, in walks Wolfgang. But all Simon sees is tall, dark, and handsome, and he's, like, immediately drooling.
Like you do.
Yeah. He assumes because Wolfie is dressed in a black-on-black suit with black leather gloves that he's probably Mr. S's bodyguard. So he treats him like a regular schmo from the beginning. They banter back and forth about the value of a clean kill versus a bloody kill. Like, they're just, like, having a good time talking about violence. And
everything about super people is different, even the small talk,
right?
Yeah,
seriously. But eventually he does get that job. He is offered a ridiculous number of zeros in his salary and an NDA, and he signs it. He takes the deal, and he's told to be outside of his apartment at 7 o'clock the next morning because he's going to go to Tokyo. And he says that's fine, that's great, but he needs to bring along his baby, a Venus flytrap named Tui, as in Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors.
Well done.
Feed me Seymour.
Gosh, it looks like plant food to me. This Venus flytrap is treated better than I am. Like it's the most. that's nothing against you, my darling. It's the most spoiled plant on the fucking planet. He brings it with him everywhere he goes. And once Wolfie realizes how important Tui is to Simon, he starts like buckling it into the car and like insisting that they leave it on the plane when they go to dangerous cities because Tui is too important to lose.
Okay, I leave you on planes when we go to dangerous cities too. I don't understand how this plant...
I for sure walked off of the plane in Atlanta the last time we were there. For sure.
And I did move you to Philadelphia.
You did move me straight to Philadelphia.
All right. But we're from Flint.
Nothing against Atlanta or Philly. I was going to say, I'm from Flint. I'm fine.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm good.
Anyway.
The next morning, or I'm sorry, no. After the interview, Simon leaves, and Wolfie goes back into the observation room because they are inside of the old Biggs Enterprises building that has been taken over by the United Supernations now that Biggs Enterprises has been folded. And they have interrogation rooms there. So Wolfie set himself up behind the two-way glass. A one-way glass? One-way glass,
yeah.
Sure, to watch the interview and to have Butch watch the interview as well, because Butch has this ability to just have sniff out bad people. He just can look at you and be like, "You're an asshole." So Xander wanted Butch to vet Simon. They talk. Butch presses Wolfie on why he wanted to go into that room at all, and he says it's because he needed to make sure that Simon didn't have a fear response to him, because apparently some normies, they will have an instinctual response to him, and he can't very well work with him.
Instinctual response to the man who could make your head explode
exactly.
with a mere touch.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
You can't very well work with somebody who's terrified of you.
No.
I guess. Although that's sort of his whole shtick.
Yeah.
Everybody's terrified of Wolfie. He's the hand of death.
I've tried, but I smile too much.
Yeah.
I didn't jump on you there, buddy.
He says that's why, but really he just wanted to be as close to Simon as possible because he thinks he's sexy. Butch then argues that Wolfie should not hire Simon because he can tell that Simon is attracted to Wolfie, and what's going to happen if he decides he's going to try and touch him. But Wolfie shuts that down immediately. He says that he will do everything in his power to keep the situation under control. He will take every precaution, but he is not going to not hire Simon. Internally, it's because Simon belongs to him now.
Oh,
Simon
okay.
is his.
Yeah.
This is another Fated Mates book, and it's immediate. So he is possessive and controlling, not in a mean, toxic way, just in a super way, I guess.
In a strong kind of I don't know.
In a dominant.
There's not really a noble way to be that, but
he's in a daddy way. In a kinky
there you
way.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't heard the recap yet. Did we talk about Inventus yet?
We actually didn't. I didn't.
It didn't come up in the recap.
I didn't say the word Inventus in the recap. I just said super soulmates.
Got it. But that's
what an Inventus is.
Yeah.
It's a fated super soulmate.
Exactly. Fated super soulmates.
Yeah. So Wolfie tells Butch that he will tell Simon everything that he needs to know. Butch is like, well, you better include that you're the hand of death, yo. And
sounds relevant.
It's always important to disclose things, when you meet somebody.
No, a soup's identity is sacred. The NDA is for nothing.
It's not enforceable.
But he will tell Simon that ultimately what they are doing is they're going on an international manhunt to find Violencia, his sister.
Okay.
AKA Ultraviolent, who has been missing for several weeks. The next morning, they get on their plane to Tokyo. They take a private jet everywhere they go because they're obscenely wealthy. And they get to know each other on the flight. This is where C. Rochelle really shines, in my opinion. Her dialogue is incredible. She writes such good chat, such good conversation, and I can't outline it all for you guys, and I really, really want to, but I won't.
Which is something she talked about on the author profile episode, is hearing the way she works with that, she's hearing that voice.
Oh yeah, she hears the
characters,
voices in her head.
The characters are talking to her, so she kind of honors that and goes with it. And I think that can lend itself, if your brain works that way, to a very natural dialogue style.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the characters that live in her head are fucking hilarious. Whoever they are, they're great. So they watch Little Shop of Horrors on the flight. Because Simon wants to.
Which version?
The only version.
There's multiple versions.
There's multiple film versions of Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I've only ever seen the one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, there's an older, old version.
I'm talking about the musical version. There's only one musical version.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
the 86, Rick Moranis,
yes,
Steve Martin,
that one.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's the one they watch. And they talk about their favorite characters, and they have a really good time getting to know each other. They're very flirty. Simon is very flirty, as a personality trait. And he is shameless about it. And Wolfie is awkward about it, but he's kind of horrified about his own feelings because he's not supposed to have feelings because he was raised to be the hand of death.
I'm not supposed to be mushy.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have soft feelings. I'm supposed to be hard. But either way, he does fully admit that he is attracted to Simon, and he'll feel his way, not literally, feel his way through all of this and try and figure it all out. This
Look
scene.
at Wolfie. Those walls coming down.
Oh, yeah. He's such a sweet boy. He just needed one little demanding French twink to bring it out of him.
Don't we all?
If we're lucky. This scene is also the first time the Suarez family group chat is mentioned.
The famous.
Oh, man. Here we go.
The Suarez family group chat is apparently so popular that C. Rochelle had to write it into more books because people were demanding it. And now she just posts them as content on her page. I just read
That's
one.
perfect.
I just read one today. Her fans will send in questions for the family, and the family will answer them in the group chat. It's so good.
That is gold.
It's hilarious.
And that is extra work that she does not need to do.
It doesn't.
For sure.
But she loves us, and so she gives us more.
That's so great. It's very reminiscent. I don't remember if we mentioned it, but Check Please, which we have mentioned on the show multiple times, a great graphic novel, Check Please. The main character in that book, Biddy, had a Twitter account that Ngozi Akazu,
the author and illustrator.
Yeah, the author and
Ngozi
illustrator.
Akazu.
Exactly. She maintained it like an actual Twitter feed, and then she included it in the back matter.
That's really cool.
I think one or both physical volumes.
Both.
And I love. I mean, I love that because you go through and you find like these little bon mots and little.
Oh yeah.
Little great tweets and that sort of thing.
It's so cute. Tub juice in the goddamn cup.
Yep.
That was just for me and Carl. Okay. So in the Suarez family group chat, everybody has a fun name, and I just want to outline them because I love them so much. The mouthy one is Xander. The token hero is Butch. The dumb one is Baltazar, the middle brother. Thing 1 is Andre, and Thing 2 is Gabriel, the twins. And the one with the biggest dick is Violencia, but she is lurking. She's not active in this group chat. But Wolfie can't bring himself to start a group chat without her. So she's still there. It's cute. He loves his sister very much.
Feel free to always start a group chat without me.
Carl hates group chats so much. The fact that he's in a Discord with us and like 3 friends, I think probably kills him.
Multiple. I'm in the cheap smut, the Smutco Industries Discord.
Oh, yeah. Smutco has a Discord now, everybody.
Yep, which we'll tag at the end. There's multiple within our friend group with Murph and Nate and Jeff and Jim. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's fun. I enjoy it. I like group chats, but
I do love group
I'm
chats.
lonely. Carl just like wants to be left alone all the time forever.
Basically.
Yes. Back to our story. So Simon wakes up from a nap just as they are landing, and that's when he notices that Wolfie has strapped Tui into a seatbelt for the landing, and he's like ready to just give up his life to be with this man forever. And then he notices that Wolfie carries a gun on his hip, and he's ready for marriage. He wants nothing more than the big, mean, scary guy who strapped his fucking Venus flytrap into him.
But will also
so
shoot
cute.
it.
Or will shoot it.
Yeah.
If you need him to.
Yeah.
If Poison Ivy ever makes Tui into a big monster, Wolfie will shoot it.
Now, if Wolfie takes his glove off and touches Tui, will Tui die?
No.
Oh.
No. That is actually in the book. He can touch plants.
That's good.
Maybe even animals. I don't know about animals. But he
Only
can
one way to
touch
find
plants.
out.
I know, right?
Right?
Come here, kitty, kitty.
Maybe he should go.
Oh.
Zanny has a cat.
Start with a
Dr.
squirrel
Neil
at
deGrasse
least.
Mowson.
Well,
Go blow up Zanny's cat. Wolfie, see how that goes for you.
oh, now we know.
Oh, that was you
Yeah.
were making a sound effect.
Yeah. I'm foleying.
This guy's a full-on Foley artist.
I thought something actually exploded in my home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have another super secret special guest, Michael Winslow. That reference is for people over 40.
Oh,
Or
my
somebody
God.
who's married to somebody who's over 40.
Yeah, that's me. I'm not over 40.
Yeah,
I'm a child.
It was the guy from the Police Academy movies who did all the sound effects with his mouth.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So they get off of the plane, and they are immediately greeted by someone who addresses Wolfie as Mr. S. All this time, Simon has been flirting with Wolfie thinking that he's just a coworker, but no, he's his boss. And now he's pissed because Wolfie didn't tell him. So he stomps off to the limo. Wolfie apologizes immediately for letting Simon think he was a bodyguard, but he just liked it. That he just was like, oh, but I just liked it when you just thought I was a normal guy. He's the least normal guy on the history of the planet of Earth, probably. So, okay, I get it. You wanted to pretend to be normal for 5 seconds.
Okay.
Whatever.
So I can kill people with a touch. I get it.
So what if I'm the leader of the strongest West Coast villain clan? I'm just a dude.
This is the strangest
I put
version
my
of that Shania
gun
Twain
on
song
my
I've ever
glove
heard.
I put
That
my
don't impress me much.
Look, I put my very long bespoke pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
Oh my god. He does then say that his full name is Wolfgang Suarez. The name rings a bell for Simon, but he does not remember. He isn't sure why, so he thinks he's probably just like heard his name because he thinks that Wolfgang is a mafioso.
Right. Well, I mean, it's either a classical composer or a mafioso.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Maybe
batting
both.
500 on that one.
Maybe he runs a crime empire so that he can fund his orchestration habit.
His piano habit.
Got a
I can't help it. I'm addicted to those keys.
I need more Yamahas now.
Is that a Stradivarius? Ugh.
It's a Steinway.
Oh man.
I bought myself a Steinway.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who'd you have to kill to buy that?
Jim Steinway.
Jim Steinway.
It's a one of one.
His blood's still on it.
Can't get that off.
He wouldn't want to. Wolfie tells Simon that he hopes that he still feels like he can be himself and treat Wolfie like a normal human being, even though he knows that he's his boss now, and that Wolfie likes him very much. It's very sweet. They get to their hotel and they drop Simon off. Wolfie tells Simon that he's going to stay there because Wolfie has to go to a business meeting of some kind that is going to be too dangerous for Simon to be at. But he has this big pile of files that Simon needs to review. So go upstairs to the room. They always stay at these really like ritzy hotels. So they go upstairs to the room, order room service, get whatever you want. I'll be back in a little while. Simon is like, don't go by yourself. You could be in danger. And
oh, you sweet summer
I know,
child.
right?
If
And
only you knew.
Wolfie's like, don't worry, I've got this all under control. But Wolfie does not have all of this under control because 2 hours later, he's just staring at a big pile of exploded heads. He had his business meeting with Master Orochi-san, who is both a villain and a Yakuza leader.
Was.
Yeah. No, he still is.
Oh, he still is? Oh, it's...
But after
For now.
After they had that meeting where he found out that Violencia has not been seen in Tokyo and that Master Orochi-san doesn't know anything about where Violencia might be, Master Orochi left. He stayed, and then he was attacked by like 8 assassins, but they were human assassins. So as soon as they touched him, their heads blew up. The most amateur attempt to assassinate.
Oh no, my secret weakness.
8 regular dudes.
Not 7, not
It's
9.
gotta be 8.
It's gotta be 8.
Yep. 8 regular dudes. No. So it's funny. He's pissed. I mean, he's pissed because he thinks Master Orochi-san tried to kill him, but he's also pissed because he's got blood all over his really nice bespoke Italian suit. And now he has to go back to the hotel. So he goes back, contemplating like what to do next vis-a-vis the attempted assassination and Vi, but also his obsessive need to fuck Simon, even though he can't. He's like, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Could you... as soon as the tip touches...
Right?
I'm just over here trying to figure out a way to make a joke about Christmas and fucking Simon and the game, and it's not coming to me, but I'm desperately trying.
Keep working on it, man. We'll get there.
Just do that sort of like that sort of like hand signal like this, and we'll know, like, you know, sort of like if you're leading a squadron, just put your hand fist,
Yep.
and then we'll stop,
You can make
and
a
we'll
joke.
know that you've got that joke.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
just wanted you to know I was thinking about it.
I appreciate knowing. I like that. I like knowing how your brain works. When he gets back to the room, he finds Simon in bed with his hand down his pants, jacking it.
Oops.
Oop. And as soon as Simon sees him, he's like, "What's up, boss?" He doesn't stop. He doesn't
Whoa!
stop doing it. He just continues, and they talk for a minute until Simon's like, okay, this is not going anywhere. He pulls his hand out of his pants, and he is wearing a leather glove. And
Dad.
Wolfie just about loses his mind. Oh, man.
I wear leather gloves.
Yeah, right?
I have to wear leather gloves.
They're both obsessed with it. There's a whole it's a whole kink for them.
That's
the
it.
leather gloves, it's a thing.
Give me your dick.
The leather just, I don't know. Doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Remember that they're wearing the gloves for everything I'm going to tell you about later. 'Cause,
Different strokes, literally.
literally. My thought by the end of this book was their glove budget must be fucking huge. Because I know
Yeah. I
they
hope they've
must
got a
be
lot of
spending, like,
Vaseline or something on hand as well.
$1,000 a pair on these really nice leather gloves that they're just sticking in each other's buttholes. Like, whoa, dude.
That's calfskin.
That is.
It probably does clean off better than like some, Carhartts from Walmart, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, rough.
Yeah.
Carhartts?
What are they using? Like
don't do that.
Like suede or nubuck?
Nubuck.
Textured.
Oh, my Lord. Then Simon notices that Wolfie is covered in blood, and he immediately hops off of the bed and starts walking toward him like, that better not be your blood, but the closer he gets, the more Wolfie freaks out, until eventually he turns and runs at super speed, not like the Flash, but he's faster than a normal human, to his room to lock the door, because that was a close one.
I almost fucked my subordinate.
Yeah, that's the problem here.
Dodged a bullet.
The villain was really worried about the moral ethics of fucking his assistant and not, killing him. He immediately gets into the shower and jacks it in the shower while thinking about Simon sucking him off until he comes so hard his knees buckle. And remember, this is a super-powered human. His knees don't just buckle for nothing.
Wow.
So,
Kicked his own ass with an
kicked
orgasm.
his own ass. Exactly.
Wow.
Oh, my Lord.
You okay in there? Oh, I was
Just reading.
Yeah, just reading. Really good book. It buckled my knees.
So good. It's the Bible.
Don't come in.
Don't come in. I'm reading the Bible.
Are you okay? Yeah, I really did Philippians. It's just really good.
Oh, this passage, it brought me to my knees. And then I
Have you
prayed.
ever read Theologians, man? Oh,
I prayed.
beautiful.
That Leviticus, I tell you.
Oh, man. We haven't even gotten to the New Testament yet. That Luke guy?
Oh, boy.
When Wolfie is done, he is now regretting ever taking an assistant that was that fucking hot. Like, he's, oh no, what am I gonna do? But he'll just have to endure, because it's not like he's gonna finish the manhunt for Valencia by himself, and his siblings are counting on him. His siblings are so important to him. Wolfgang doesn't care about shit, but he cares very deeply about his brothers and sister. It's so cute. It's so sweet. I was like, if it wouldn't explode my head, I would hug this man, because he loves his family so much. Yeah. Back in the common area, once he's all dressed and cleaned up and everything, everybody's slightly less horny, but Simon is dressed like a twink, so, do with that what you will. I think he's wearing a belly shirt that says, "Your dad is my cardio" in this scene. I'm pretty sure that's... Wow. Okay.
That is great.
Tempting the boss some more. They discuss the actual assignment, including Valencia, who is officially wanted for embezzling. But Simon's like, I know that's bullshit. Obviously, she didn't embezzle from you. You have more money than God. So you can tell me about it or not. But Wolfie doesn't tell him about it. He doesn't tell him anything about his relationship with Valencia or their superpowers. By pretense, it's because a Soup's identity is sacred, but his real reason is because he doesn't want Simon to know that they're hunting down his sister, because they might have to kill his sister, and he doesn't want Simon to judge him for killing his own sister.
Ooh, yeah, not a great look.
Yeah, how do you explain that?
So he's gonna try and keep it. Try and keep it separate. He's calling Valencia by her civilian name. His civilian name is Wolfgang Espanto. And her civilian name is Valencia Signe's daughter. Their mother's name was Signe, and her last name is Signe's daughter, but in Icelandic. Sure,
okay.
Why not?
Yeah, I guess like a Thor Odin son situation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
basically. So Simon fixes them dinner he ordered everything off of the room service menu, because of course he did. And he gives Wolfie a plate, and Wolfie is like immediately struck by the fact that Simon's taking care of him in any capacity, because nobody ever has his entire life. I am broken, by the way. I am deeply broken by Wolfgang's past. It's so sad. Then Simon encourages Wolfie to talk about what happened that resulted in him getting covered in all of that blood. Wolfie explains things, but like fudges it a little bit, so that he doesn't have to say that he exploded a bunch of heads with his superpowers. But he does say that he killed 8 men.
You might as well.
I was going to say, it's like it's not a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
I killed 8 men. And then he's like, but they were really easy to kill.
I exploded their hearts. It wasn't their heads. It definitely wasn't their heads.
I just killed them normally, like normal people do.
Just ran them over with a car. That's all. That's it.
With this gun, and he's holding it like
nobody's head exploded.
Barrel.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why you keep asking about heads exploding. Nobody's heads exploded. I told you I hit him with a car. 2 cars. I hit him with 2 cars.
2 cars.
Look,
That's it.
They laid on the ground 4 a stride each way.
Yep.
Heads like next to you. I happened to drive right over all 8 of their
The first
heads.
car's radiator busted, so I just took another car. It's fine. There's 2 cars. 8 guys, 2 cars. Nobody's heads exploded.
If you were in the car, Wolfie, how did you get so much blood all over you?
Well, it's not my blood.
Not by their heads exploding, I'll tell you that.
It when I was done.
Yeah, nobody's heads exploded, so I don't know why you think this is brain matter. It's not brain matter. It's not brain matter. I don't know why you keep saying it is.
Simon has a master's degree. He probably knows what brain matter looks like, but okay.
It's not brain matter.
Not like
that.
that.
It's not that. Whatever.
I told you it's not.
Stop asking. So once Wolfie explains everything, Simon is really, really pissed, and Wolfie's like, "Oh no, I upset him. Now he knows his boss is a killer." But Simon's like, "Who tried to hurt my boss?"
Oh,
he's so mad because somebody tried to kill Wolfie.
I love
so
that sort
sweet.
of reverse protective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the little the old cartoon with like the little dog and the big.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I can't remember
Spike and Tyke.
Spike and Tyke. Yeah.
Yes. Holy
Their names
crap.
are Spike and Tyke.
There you go. He's the Tyke, but he's tough Tyke.
He's tough Tyke, but they like those. I love the cartoon
Yeah.
dog walk with the little their intern paws and their outward elbows. Oh man, so cute. So they talk about this attack, and they decide that the amateur assassination attempt was actually a message from Master Orochi-san. And that message is, if they keep following the currently established villain protocol, someone will actually send assassins after them. So it's time to start playing by a different set of rules. They've been following protocol this whole time. Villains have a very specific way they like to do things, but if they keep doing it this way, they're gonna get murdered.
Time to play by Jenga rules.
It's time to homebrew this bitch.
Here we go. Roll for initiative.
This conversation, by the way, is also really, really great. So Wolfie's walls are coming down, and Simon can read him so well. So it takes a lot of Wolfie's anxiety away because he doesn't have to explain himself because Simon just gets him.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's also a really good way to establish the bond, the pair bond that's being formed with them when one of them doesn't have superpowers. But apparently he's just really good at reading his partner. Also, Simon really enjoys bossing Wolfie around, which Wolfie does not mind. Later in the book, he'll start calling him Boss. That's his little nickname that he has.
I like
Simon,
that.
he calls him Boss. It's cute. So originally, Wolfie was planning on going from Tokyo to Thailand, but Simon vetoes that plan and says that they should bounce around more because people could predict that they're going to go right to Thailand. So instead, he thinks they should go into Europe. Wolfie argues that Simon should go home. Well, this is very dangerous now. Eight guys definitely didn't get their heads exploded, and it's very dangerous. But Simon's
we still don't know how they died.
We
It's
don't.
extremely
I told you
unsafe.
it wasn't the heads exploding. I
wasn't
know
the
that
heads.
much. The cop specifically said it doesn't look like their heads exploded at all.
I have this signed note.
It's from the coroner.
From
It
the
says
coroner.
the coroner at the bottom.
Cause of death.
Not
Definitely
head
Not
exploding.
heads
I don't-
exploding.
But Wolfie says Simon should go home, and Simon gets so fucking mad. How dare you send me home just when it's getting good? I'm not leaving. I will not, and I shan't, and he won't. Wolfie can't make him do shit.
And if somebody's heads are going to explode, I'm definitely going to be here to see it.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. He's going to want to see it. He's going to want to see that part because it sounds interesting. And Wolfie's always going to do what Simon wants at the end of the day. So instead, they decide they're going to go tonight. They're going to go out. They're going to paint the town red. So they go out and they enjoy Tokyo for the night. The next day, Simon serves them a traditional tea at a tea house. I loved this scene. It was so nice. Like, they just get to know each other, and it's really sweet. This is when Simon really notices that Wolfie does not like being touched. He assumes that it's because of some kind of trauma that has left him with a touch aversion. So he's not going to touch him without his permission because he's trying to respect his boundaries. Fantastic. Love that. Love it.
Good work.
Simon, I love you so much. You're so sweet. The mutual pining in this scene is also palpable. God, they want each other so bad. So bad. And Simon is already trying to plan ways to get Wolfie to keep him after his assignment is over. Because once they're done, he's supposed to go. His temp job is done. And Wolfie's never going to give this man up. Don't even worry about it, Simon. You're fine. They start packing up to leave the tea house, and Simon mentions that he needs to find a place to get flies because Tui needs to eat. And Wolfie pulls some Mr. Miyagi shit and snatches one out of the air with some chopsticks. Okay. Sure. Show off.
As one does.
Right? It's cool. It's cool.
I do it a couple times a day just to really get my fine motor skills down.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that skill. You want to keep that sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to know what you're doing when it comes to catching flies. So the next destination they are going to go to is Berlin. When they land in Berlin, it is Sunday night, and Wolfie tells Simon that he is going to take him to Mass. And by Mass, he means he is going to take him to the church-like benediction and all-night rave club.
Yes.
You're in Berlin. What the fuck else are you going to do besides go to
Right.
a rave?
You go to some weird John Wick shit dance party.
It's my first night in Berlin.
Let's do this.
I want to dance.
What about the Sisyphus?
Oh, the Sisyphus. With Wolfpack. Joe
With Joe Dart. Sorry, we're doing a whole bit right now.
Wolfpack is the house band.
Oh my God. That's from The Conscious Club by Wolfpack. If anybody wants to listen to that song, it's really good.
I'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah. So they are going to this club because they need to meet somebody, and they're going to meet him there. And Simon needs to get dressed to be an eye candy distraction. Fucking say no more, man. He goes, he's like, I've always wanted to go to this club, but I never wanted to wait in line.
Same.
Right? But with Wolfie, it doesn't matter. He's just going to get in the door. So now he's going to go put on his best club kid outfit. And he comes, when he is done, I wrote this down. This outfit was fucking incredible.
I was wearing an Adidas visor with at least a couple plastic stars on it.
Oh, no. No, but I like that too. So he's wearing an all-black ensemble of a satin thong, lace hot pants, and a lace tank top, and tape X's over his nipples.
Oh, yeah.
With leather gloves, of course, a World War II style British officer's helmet, or officer's hat.
Yep.
And shit kickers. I love it. I love it
Like
so much.
Sounds like a tank girl outfit. I'm in.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Yes. It does sound like a tank girl outfit. Maybe that's why I like it.
Jamie Hewlett, draw that.
Yeah. All it needs is like a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody give Simon a rocket launcher. He'd love that. Oh,
Wouldn't
he'd be
we
so
all?
happy.
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled
sweet.
rocket launcher? It should
Yep.
have a giant rhinestone cock on the side of it.
Yep.
He would
I was going to say
cry.
it says like cunt and diamonds or something,
Yes.
but that works too.
And then he's got a backpack that says backblast area clear, because that's what you're supposed to yell when you fire. Because I fired rocket launchers in the Army, and you have to yell backblast area clear, because if you're standing behind a rocket launcher and it goes off,
You get burned to shit, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
you could die.
But if you open the backblast area clear backpack, it's just full of lube.
It's just so much lube.
Just bottles of lube.
What
that
do you
he
want?
doesn't use. There is no lube in this book. It's even in the content warnings. Mysterious lack of lube.
Content warning, very dry.
Oh yeah,
You
well, it's
did
the way
mention-
they like it. But
You did mention the spit king.
yeah, I did mention spit kink, and I mentioned it for a reason. So Simon comes out. Wolfie's jaw hits the ground, but when his jaw picks up back off the ground, he introduces him to the other guy who is in the room now. His name is Eric. He's the only other normie that Wolfie associates with, and the only other normie on his payroll. Eric is also a DJ, and a DJ at this club, so he's taking them to the club. They get there. Wolfie spends the first half an hour just watching Simon dance like an absolute maniac on the dance floor, and fantasizes about, I want to say, flossing his teeth with Simon's thong. But eventually, the guy that they are going to meet arrives. His name is Remington, Rem for short, because he's a soup and his power is sleep paralysis. So he
Oh
calls
no,
himself
that's
Rem.
terrifying.
I know,
That's
right?
not great.
It's awful.
No, that makes me nervous.
Yeah, it made me nervous too. So Remington is a low-level enforcer for the local crime boss / villain of the area, Mistress Noir Rouge, which I think is sort of a lazy name, Mistress. Your name is Miss Black Red. Okay, fine.
She totally picked that thinking it was cool, and nobody had the
She
guts to
did.
tell her that.
Yeah. Well, nobody was gonna tell her because she's fucking lethal and
It's
shit.
just like nobody's ever explained what the what Grand Blank means to the folks of Grand Blank, Michigan.
It's the big white.
Big
Welcome
white.
to the big white.
It's appropriate, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So Rem and Wolfie talk. Rem sort of pokes fun at Wolfie for never having sex because he can't touch anyone, and Wolfie just to freak Rem out and also to help spread the lore says, well, they don't have to be alive when I'm done with them, which is
Oh.
fucking gross, but it's a
Woof.
really good way to make everyone think that you're a fucking freak.
Yeah.
It's true.
So if that's what you're going for, good job, Wolfie.
That is like a power flex too, in a
It
twisted
is.
way. It's like I don't know that anyone's gonna screw with
Oh,
that
Lord.
person. No pun intended.
Literally or figuratively, yeah.
Oh.
No.
For
Right.
real.
Truly.
Simon comes over pretending to be like just some drunk club kid, and he breaks Remington's spirit in half. Like he just floors this man and crushes his ego. He's my hero. He is my god, my queen. I love him so much. Rem has no information about Violencia's whereabouts, but he does decide to stir some shit by calling Vi Wolfgang's girlfriend, which pisses Simon off because he doesn't know. For all he knows, this is accurate information, so he stomps off. Rem and Wolfie finish their conversation, and then as soon as Remington leaves, Wolfie immediately goes to find Simon. He follows a mysterious pull, like he feels a pull in his chest that leads him to the back of the club, to a stairwell in the back corner where he finds Simon being kissed on by somebody. And first he's both horrified and angry, and then Simon's head lolls back and he realizes that he's not really conscious and that Remington has put him to sleep so that he can assault him.
Ah.
Not cool and not
No.
okay.
Uh-oh.
So then Wolfie attacks.
Yeah.
He rips Remington off of Simon and throws him through the back wall.
Ooh.
When Simon wakes up, he's like, I'm not really sure what's happening, but my boss and the guy he was supposed to meet are in a big pile of rubble out back now, so I guess I should go figure that out.
I'll get the paperwork started.
Yeah. And he's
I'll
also
call the
pissed
insurance
because
company.
He's pissed because he thinks somebody's trying to hurt Wolfie. So he's like, I'll burn this whole fucking club to the ground. Bruh. I mean,
Just
he's
immediate
confused, but
scorched
he's
earth
got the spirit,
tactics.
you know what I'm saying?
Love the energy.
Love the energy.
Right.
It's so great. I do want to remind everybody, it's in my notes here as well, that Simon might be a normie, but he is just as capable of incredible violence, and he is not to be fucked with. Like, he's tiny, but he'll kill you. So, he is the tiny tyrant. You don't fuck with him. He finds a Wolfie berating Rem for daring to touch what belongs to him and daring to even lay eyes upon Simon. And so, his punishment, he's not going to kill him. He gouges his eyes out.
Like with the
yeah.
thumb thing? Like
With the thumbs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like that move at all.
Oh, I don't either, but you know who does? Simon. He's really turned on by violence. So,
There's no gentle way to do that to somebody.
No, there's not going to be like, okay, just hold on real quick. I'm just going to...
Yeah, it's gonna pop this. You're gonna feel a pop, and then it's all gonna go black.
Low pressure.
and then you'll never have to see again. Never again.
And there we
Actually,
go.
my worst fear is losing my vision. Once all of that violence is done, Simon finally comes to the realization that he was the one in danger and that he could have gotten very hurt, and the adrenaline finally starts wearing off and he starts to collapse. That's when Eric joins them, having tracked them down. Eric starts berating Wolfie for never telling Simon anything. And when Simon is like, what do you mean? What don't I know? Remington, who's still alive, but just doesn't have eyeballs anymore, goes,
I can help.
That your boyfriend's a monster. He's a monster.
I don't have eyes, and even I can see it.
I can lend some insight. Oh, self-burn.
Boom.
And then Rem says that his clan will be coming to kill Simon in retribution for what just happened. Wolfie then declares that Simon is his Inventus. From the last episode, Inventus is the fated mate. It is a superhero of equal power who is capable of forming a bond with you. Simon is a normie, though. He still declares him to be his Inventus. That gives him protection. Nobody else will fuck with him. Even a rumor swirling that he is Wolfie's Inventus will keep everyone from touching him.
So does he have to like pretend to be super?
No.
Okay, people just that's the Inventus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People just don't touch him.
All right.
Yeah. Because Inventuses can also share power, so everyone is going to assume that if he is Wolfie's Inventus, that if you touch him, you'll die.
Okay.
So everyone will just leave him alone now. Then they flee the scene. They go back to their hotel. Wolfie feels super guilty for not telling Simon everything, but also for gouging eyes out in front of him because he's like, oh no, what did I do? He shouldn't have to see me with my hands all bloody like that. But Simon's like, I fucking loved
That
it so
was the
much.
concern.
I loved it. It was so great. Can you do it some more?
At least he didn't see me explode their heads, which I never have done.
Never did it.
Which it's not even a thing I do. I mean,
Nothing.
people say I've done it, but I've never done it.
Yeah. He also then tells Simon that Violencia is his sister, and that he just didn't want to tell him that because he didn't want him to know that he was going to maybe murder his own sister.
Well, it's a little fratricide. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
between friends. They go to an industrial space that is, it's one of Wolfgang's properties. It is an art gallery, and he has bought it specifically for the twins, who are artists. And in their final year of school, he's going to give it to them as a present when they graduate.
Christ.
Just a whole Berlin art gallery, just for
I
you.
bought you a museum.
Love you guys.
God, I wanted the Louvre.
But you said I was getting a gallery in Provence.
It's not even as big as MoMA.
Bullshit. And that's all the museums in the world.
Oh, yeah, we've named all of them. There's 7. Did we name all 7? I don't know. Upstairs,
The Natural History Museum.
the Museum of Suck My Ass. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
What? I'm antsy. Upstairs, they go to the upstairs sleeping area, and Simon asks Wolfie to please push the beds together because he just doesn't want to be alone tonight. He promises he won't touch him. They make the pillow wall.
You can't. Kill him.
But he just doesn't want to be alone tonight. So Wolfie agrees, and they sleep in the same bed. The next morning, Simon watches Wolfie sleep until he wakes up, and then Wolfie gets up and showers and gets dressed.
I could never just watch you sleep until you woke up.
Until I woke up naturally?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'd be asleep until like noon.
Yeah, exactly.
I love to sleep.
Go away, children. I'm watching your mother sleep. This is romantic, damn it.
This is normal. No one thinks this is weird. So
Oh, good, you're up. I've been staring for 5 hours.
I gotta pee. Okay, gotta go.
I'm surprised you didn't bring a water bottle with you to piss while you were waiting.
I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, well, be better prepared. They talk about what happened the night before, and Simon admits that the violence was a massive turn-on for him. So Simon touches himself under the sheet while Wolfie watches again, and he nearly convinces Wolfie to come over and just like pull the sheet back. Like, just pull the sheet back, Wolf. But before he can, the phone rings, and Wolfie jumps away. The phone is Mistress Noir Rouge, who has showed up at this place that no one is supposed to know about, but she knows, and she wants to talk to Wolfie. So Wolfie and Simon both go downstairs and they talk to her. Every time villains talk to each other in this book, it is just a massive pissing contest. Nothing is said, but it takes a long time for nothing to be said. They just like rib each other and make jabs until the last 2 or 3 sentences, and then they drop bombs of information.
It's like the opposite of studying in college.
Yeah.
In college, you read the first couple of sentences of every paragraph and then just move on more often than not, especially for like gen eds. They front load everything and then save the good shit for the end.
Yes, they
Oh,
do.
it's like a Tarantino movie.
Exactly.
So they go down to the street, they talk to her. There's some information gathering, but she doesn't really know anything either. She hasn't seen Vi. She doesn't know what's going on. At one point, she flirts with Wolfie, and Simon gets so mad that he growls, and she's like, ooh, it's true. You do have an Inventus. She tries to, probe Simon with her power. Like, apparently they can sort of reach their power out and, like, poke around.
Ew.
Try to get a read on the other people's powers, but she can't get anything. So she just, like, interesting. Very interesting. And then just as she's leaving, she drops the bomb that they should consider that Vi is trying to take the clan crown from Wolfie, and that she's working for someone who's even more powerful. And then she just dips.
Goodbye.
Bye. All new information. Goodbye. After their impromptu meeting is over, Wolfie has a shower. Simon contemplates how he could possibly get this man to take a vacation. And then the phone dings, and it's the Suarez group chat again. So Simon decides to dip in there and start ruffling feathers. God, I love him. God, I love him. This is also the first introduction of the use of Baby Hulk as a nickname for Baltazar. It was just so funny. Simon also drops in the group chat that they are going to Thailand next as a red herring, because if Vi really is lurking in there, then they want to throw her off the scent. But they are really going to the south of France. So because he can't give Wolfgang a cuddle because he's so stressed and overworked, he decides he's going to take him to his favorite place in the world, his mother's giant mansion in the south of France.
Oh, I was going to say Dave and Buster's.
Oh.
That would be sweet.
Skee ball?
Yeah.
Burgers?
Apps, unlimited games.
Yeah, man.
They have those Fast and Furious racing games, and they're super awesome.
I used to go to Dave and Buster's with my dad all the time as like a young teenager. I thought it was the coolest place ever.
It's a blast.
It's so fun. So they arrive at her mansion, which she got. I loved this story, and I'm going to tell it. So she got this mansion because her ex-husband signed it over to her as an apology for cheating on her, but as soon as she got the deed in her hand, she divorced him anyway.
Nice.
God bless.
I thought you were going to say she made his head explode.
As
soon as they divorced.
With regret.
I don't even know where you're getting this from. See, Rochelle didn't even write that into this book.
There's not even,
not even a thing I do.
I don't know what you're doing. So when they get to the mansion, Wolfie sweeps it for threats, and then they start to settle in. Simon brings up that he wants to continue to share a bed with Wolfie, but Wolfie shuts him down immediately, and Simon blows up, and he's like, just tell me what it is that happened to you so I can maybe help you get over this touch aversion thing. And Wolfie's like, nothing happened to me, I was just born this way. And that sets Simon off thinking that he has accidentally been pushing himself on an asexual man, and that he's the one who's being a predator right now. And so he apologizes very sincerely about it. And Wolfie's like, no, I want to fuck you more than anything, man. More than anything. But I can't.
There's this whole thing about exploding heads. It's a long story, and you wouldn't understand.
Neither would I, because I've never done it.
But he says that even though he can't touch him, he can maybe watch.
Wink.
So Simon strips down, but he also demands that Wolfgang get at least a little bit naked. So Wolfgang unbuttons his shirt and sits down in a chair to watch Simon put on a little show. So Simon jacks it for him with the leather glove on again.
Obviously.
And Wolfie tells Simon all about how he wants to fuck him. And they are both into very, very rough, painful, kinky sex. At one point, Simon's like, I want to cry. I want you to make me cry in pain. I want you to make me cry.
Not with a really good joke.
Yeah.
But with like a slap.
Not with like a tender-hearted moment, but I want you to fuck my ass so hard I cry. That's what he wants. Okay, we're here for it. You are now discussing your likes and dislikes.
Yep.
I'm here for it. When Simon comes, the sight of his cum on the leather glove makes Wolfie lose it in his pants.
Wow.
And then he stands up and walks over and licks the glove clean. Goddamn.
Clean plate club, baby.
Seriously. Yeah. And then he stands up and he walks away and he tells Simon that he's sleeping in a different room and that they will talk about why they can never do this again tomorrow.
Aw. Spoil sport.
Seriously, Simon's so mad, and so was I. The next morning, though, they wake up to find that Simon's mother is in her home. She came for a visit while her husband's yacht is docked nearby or something.
We're having the yacht repaired.
Yeah. So she came to check in on the place, and she introduces herself. Her name is Bunny. That's why I said there were bunnies earlier. When we were talking about mice and men.
You silly bitch.
I am. I'm a goofy goober. So Simon and Bunny and Wolfgang hang out for the day. They get to know each other a little. They go to like a nice lunch at the vineyard, and they have a good time. While they are out, Simon's still really mad and isn't talking to Wolfie, so Wolfie tries to poke him with his powers just to reach out to him in some way, and Simon's like, stop that! Well, he's not supposed to be able to feel that, so now Wolfie's very confused. Simon walks away for a little while, and Bunny basically threatens to kill Wolfgang if he does anything to hurt her precious baby boy. Wolfgang's like, don't fucking worry about it. Your kid is terrifying. I would never hurt him.
I'm a 6'6" metahuman, and I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of him. Yep. After lunch, she goes back to the yacht, and Simon demands that Wolfie take him shopping to make up for it, and they go and spend all his money. All of it. While they're out shopping, they have a fight, like right in the middle of this lovely Parisian or like French street, the beautiful shopping district, and they're just yelling at each other. And they get stopped by another hero who has come over to see them. His name is Zion. He is the MMC from book 3.
Well, good to know.
Yeah.
Which we are covering eventually.
Eventually, yes. They have a conversation once again every time soups meet each other. It's a pissing contest. This one is particularly pissy. And at one point, Simon feels like he needs to defend. Like, he gets so mad. He feels like he needs to defend Wolfie, and then he feels like this weird energy surge in his body, and he doesn't know why, and then he collapses.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Wolfgang can't catch him, though, so Zion helps while Wolfie goes to get a cab.
I can't grab him. His head will explode.
Right? I don't know why we keep saying that. There's no head explosions. Not a single one.
I've never even done it. It's never happened.
I couldn't catch him, but not because of the head exploding.
Because I'm weak.
Tennis elbow. I got tennis elbow is what's wrong.
As the cab is pulling up, Zion tells Simon that whatever he did, he should cut Wolfie some slack because he thinks he's a good guy underneath all of that like black exterior of his. What a nice man. What a nice man. And then he just walks away and he's like, I'll see you guys later. I got to go back to the beach. And Simon's like, the beach is on the other side of the water over there. And he's like, yup. And he just dives in. Just goes swimming all the way back.
Well, all right.
Psychopath. When they get back home, Simon tries to take a nap, but he can't because he's too pissed off. So he goes back to the kitchen where Wolfie is yelling into the phone because their Thailand apartment was bombed. So
well, they weren't in it. Why is he so pissed?
Because it means that Violencia really
was his favorite one,
and that she's the one who's doing all of this.
Oh, okay, good. So now they know they've flushed her out. Get a new one.
A new sister? He's mad that his sister is evil.
I meant apartment.
He doesn't care about the apartment. He cares about his sister.
I thought it was his favorite apartment.
There you go.
I would have cared.
But so he's
That's where I keep all my stuff.
Took you my posters, and my Funko Pops.
I've got like 3 bookshelves in that place.
Who signed it? My dad. So he's on the phone with Butch, and he's yelling at Butch about how Butch cannot go after Violencia because he knows that if he gets to her, he'll just kill her, and he won't let him do that. They're not going to let him kill his sister.
We're family, damn it.
They're family, damn
That's
it.
right.
Exactly. Simon creeps into the room quietly, and he feels an overwhelming urge to touch Wolfie because he needs comfort. So he walks up behind him and he reaches out to touch him, but the second his fingers like make contact with the back of his suit, Wolfie turns around, grabs him by the neck, super strength, super speed, grabs him by the neck, lifts him up into the air, and then watches as the life drains out of him and he drops him on the ground. And then Simon wakes up. So Simon he wakes up and the thing that he is noticing the most is that he has a really bad headache, and that's because when Wolfie dropped him, he concussed him on the tile. Like, thud, just dropped him on the ground, crashed his skull.
That's the least bad thing that could happen to your head at this point.
I was going to say, guess what didn't happen to his head?
It didn't explode.
Yeah.
It didn't explode because it
tried.
Never has.
That's why he had the headache.
It never has. Yeah. So Butch and Xander are in the mansion now, and Wolfie is absolutely devastated because he killed Simon. They're talking about how they're going to get rid of his body and stuff, and Simon pulls himself up, and because he is the tiny tyrant, he's like, if you think you're burying me in an unmarked grave, you've got another fucking thing coming to you right now. And as soon as he starts talking, Butch freaks out and throws a fireball at him and blows out the back wall of his mom's mansion.
Jesus.
So then they're like, well, I guess now we have to replace the mansion wall.
That was the best wall we had.
Luckily, we're rich.
It's my favorite wall.
Aw, I love that wall.
It was hand painted.
Yeah.
They all are.
You know why that happened? It's because it's not a head.
If that wall was a head, it never would have exploded.
Oh my god! Yeah, because that just doesn't happen. It's just not a thing that happens.
It never does. So Wolfie runs out of the room. Butch convinces Xander to follow after his brother and try to comfort him, but he does so by telling him that if he goes, he'll do that thing he likes with the fried chicken. What is that? I don't want to know.
I'm at minimum curious.
Because Xander loves fried chicken. I think we established that in the first episode of this. He's running out of the room and he's screaming, "I'm going to slather you in hot sauce tonight, honey." What the fuck?
Does this mean we're eventually going to get to see Rochelle gay porn villains cookbook?
Oh my god, yes.
Xander's fried chicken.
Rochelle,
Right.
are you listening to me? I love to cook. I'll write you the cookbook. I'll write
Oh
you
my
Xander's
god,
fried
joint
chicken.
effort.
Oh my
Make this
God.
happen.
Smutco Industries presents.
Yep. So that leaves Butch with Simon, and Butch has to explain to him that he is not wearing a Captain Masculine cosplay. That he is the real Captain Masculine. And
Why do I always
This ain't no Timu outfit, okay?
right? And that Xander is not dressed like Dr. Antihero. He is Dr. Antihero. And that means that Wolfgang is really the hand of death. And everything finally falls into place for Simon. And he's like, oh, fuck. Okay.
The little egg in his brain hatched, and
That's not going to go
Yep.
well.
Now popped a little birdie. But this doesn't change anything. This is not a deal breaker for Simon. He's excited about it. He's like, I've always wanted to be a mafia queen. Great. I'm really excited about this. So he shoos Butch and Xander away, but not before Xander snatches out some of his hair to do some genetic sampling with. Then Simon finds Wolfie. He's wallowing in his room, and he is wearing a full-sized adult onesie that says Captain Masculine's favorite brat on it.
oh boy.
He won that in a white elephant with the family because Butch didn't understand the rules. So Butch bought Zanny a onesie, and now Wolfgang owns it.
That
And I
is
just love
pretty
that.
solid.
I love it.
And again, he's 6.5 feet tall.
He is. And I want to know if it's like too small on him because Xander's not as big as he is.
Had to cut the feet off.
Yeah. But it's fleece lined, so it's
yeah.
very comfortable. So Simon finds Wolfie. He is wallowing. He definitely watched Simon die. So he's like freaking out because Simon died, but he's not dead now. He tells Simon that he should leave. He's in danger. Obviously, he's in danger. But Simon's just like touching his face like, I'm not dying. You're not dying. We're fine.
I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Everything is fine. Nobody died.
And I won't die.
And then Simon kisses Wolfie. And it's Wolfie's first kiss, guys. From
Aw.
now on, let's remember these are all of Wolfie's firsts.
Yeah.
That is
So
true.
cute. His first kiss, eventually his first rim job. I mean, it's just
Spoilers.
what? Like that wasn't going to happen in a C. Rochelle book?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
Touche.
Yeah.
So they make out for a while. They briefly discuss Wolfie's childhood and how he hasn't touched anyone since he accidentally killed his nanny when he was a kid.
Oh.
And how now he only ever touches people when he's killing someone on behalf of the family. Then they move into Wolfie's first blowjob.
Hey.
So nice for him. In this scene, there is spit kink, extreme throat fucking, and tear streaming, discussions of kink, and establishment of safe words. It's also an excellent beach, my queen. Good job, Simon. You did a really good job. I'm proud of you.
That's how his head explodes.
Once again with the superpowered cum shots.
And scene.
You can find us on social media.
Never not funny. Then they go out to dinner. They enjoy what sounds like absolutely incredible food, but they're in the south of France. So, I mean, it's probably incredible.
Right? Even the McDonald's are, Michelin rated.
Yeah. They get to know each other a little more, and this is where Simon makes the revelation that he is a diagnosed psychopath. Confirmed diagnosis by his psychiatrist father. The only reason he's not institutionalized is because his mom would not let it happen. So he's totally down with the violence, gore, death, murder, and killing. Because he doesn't have feelings like other people have feelings.
Oh, no,
So
it's
he's
cool.
good.
I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I don't feel anything. It's fine.
Yeah. It's great. The only thing I feel is my love for you, honey. Let's go murder a homeless man.
You go and explode those heads.
God.
I told you.
I don't do
They
that.
also talk about Wolfie's superhero identity and how hot he looks in the super suit. Because he does have a super suit. He just doesn't wear it very often. He prefers to wear his regular human suit. Then they decide they want to play a little game. So Wolfie goes to pay the bill while Simon gets a head start. And then Wolfie tracks him down through the streets of this cute little town. And when he catches up to him in what's called the Rue Obscure, which is a dark tunnel in the middle of town. And he fucks him in that tunnel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about a metaphor.
I know, right?
I was gonna say.
Yeah. He fucked Simon in the dark French tunnel. I get it.
It's like a Maritrishka doll of sex.
Well, no, he fingers him. Sorry, he fingers him in his dark French tunnel. And
Oui.
with the glove on. Again, always with the glove on. But in this scene, Simon is wearing pink satin panties.
Well.
And Wolfie demands he leaves them on so that when he comes, he takes them off of Simon and he puts them in his pocket like a pocket square.
Digging around with that glove on, it probably sounds like he's looking for his registration.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Dear Lord.
Just that leather creaking as he's digging through. God damn it, I know my insurance card's in here somewhere.
Shit. I'm trying to think, man.
Why bother?
I don't know. Because I'm still trying
Head's
to
just
do a
gonna
fucking
explode
podcast.
anyways.
Right.
Lord.
Think too hard, might
save
blow up.
me. Let's see. Let's see. The next scene is a blowjob scene.
Hell
Wolfgang
yeah.
blows Simon, and then so we need to talk about this, Rochelle. If a man comes in your mouth and then you spit that cum into his butt cheeks and use that as lube, that is not felching.
That's just reduce, reuse, recycle.
That is, yes. That's just using everything at your disposal. Not felching.
Everything but
That's
the
called
oink.
adapting.
Anyway, so then he spits the cum into Simon's butt cheeks, and then he fucks Simon's butt cheeks.
Now
Right.
now maybe
Also, Simon speaks French when he's getting fucked, so there's a lot of slutty French.
Well, two-way très beau, Wolfgang. I am fully prepared to issue a retraction if we're wrong about the felching. But what?
Bro, I googled felching today.
Oh.
I know what it is.
Great. Now we're on a list.
I'm on so many lists. I'm not even worried about
A
it.
sexy list.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They spend the next few days lounging around in the south of France. At one point, they have a conversation where Wolfie reveals that his gun and the knife that he wears strapped to his ankle are inventions of Xander's. They have been modified with his own DNA so that if they penetrate a soup's body, they can kill them.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's cool as shit.
It's very cool. It's very
That's
efficient
very
as well.
creative.
Then Simon learns about Wolfie's entire family, his siblings, and some of their powers, and his parents, and his very abusive upbringing. And in Violencia's case, he learns that she is, unlike other soups, when she fights, she actually goes into like a blind berserker rage, which is why she is so dangerous, because she is chaos incarnate. She can't be controlled when she's like that. So they need her on their side, or they're going to have to kill her. Eventually, they do have to leave France, though. They would prefer to stay there forever, but they decide they have to keep going when somebody calls to inform them that Apocalypto Man's body has disappeared from his grave.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Not again.
This shit again?
Um,
Man, I gotta put a little bell on that fucking corpse.
And because it was buried on the property and only the family knows where the property is, it was one of the family who took the corpse. So,
Valencia.
Yeah.
What
Wolfie
a
briefly
bitch.
has a panic attack thinking that Apocalypto Man just didn't die. And so now they're all going to die because Apocalypto Man's going to come for them. But Simon's like, send a picture of the gravesite, please. He looks at it for 5 seconds. He's like, honey, it got dug up from the outside. Nobody crawled out of that. He's not alive. Okay, it's fine.
He was exhumed.
Yeah.
He didn't rise from the dead.
So Wolfie tells him that the next thing that they should do is go to speak to the council in Geneva, which is a council of superhumans who govern themselves. Unlike the United Supernations, which only exists in the United States, they are an international body. So Wolfie takes him to Geneva. Before an event that night in Geneva, they're both dressed to the nines. They're both wearing tuxes. Wolfie puts some extra marks on Simon, some extra bruises and hickeys, just so everybody knows who he belongs to. great.
Smart.
Spells his name out like an old-timey gangster with a Tommy gun.
Or
A bunch of tiny little bruises.
Just so you knows I was here.
you could have just used an air tag. I'm just saying.
Yeah, could just tattoo him. I'm sure he'd like it. Oh, on the way to the event, Simon asks Wolfgang if the only reason he likes him is because he's the only person he can touch. And Wolfgang's like, never say that again. I wanted you from the moment I met you. I hate everyone except you. It's very cute. But since they're going to be together in public, they need to keep up the pretense that they are Inventus and Inventus, even though they know that they can't be Inventuses because Simon is a human. So that he needs to stay on his arm and he needs to pretend to be his Inventus all night long. At this event, which is a black tie event, I just love this. Why? We'll fly to Geneva this evening. They're having a black tie event anyway.
We're all dressed up anyway.
Yeah, we might as well go somewhere.
Yeah, why not Geneva?
They briefly have a run-in with a hero named Dahlia, who is Zion's sister. Her hero name is Atmosphera. She does storm type shit.
Like that.
She's generally bitchy, and again, it's another pissing contest. Nothing really comes of it, but eventually Simon manages to piss her off so bad that she starts manifesting her powers inside, which is against the rules, so she gets escorted out by security, having a big hissy fit.
Could you imagine being the very underpaid maitre d' that has to escort out a meta-human?
I'm sure that all the security is soup.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
sure
like
they
to think
wouldn't
so.
Make fucking Ted try to escort out Atmosphera.
Do
you
not
know?
get paid enough for this shit.
Someone call Pierre.
Merde.
And then they meet Wolfie's mentor, a man named Luca Meyer, aka the kinetic assassin. He is he's Gambit.
Yeah.
Oh shit, okay.
He's also who trained Wolfie in all of the art of being a person who kills people for a living. He is also a council member, and he agrees to meet them the next day after the council discusses their situation. The next day... Wolfie and Simon return to the car to go home, but their driver has been replaced by another would-be assassin who points a gun at Simon, and as soon as he does, Wolfie puts him through the windshield.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah. The assassin says that he's here to send a message and that she expects that Wolfie will come running because she is more important than his little boyfriend, and also that she offered him power, and that's the only reason why he's doing this in the first place, because he pisses himself. He's terrified of the hand of death. They all are. Everyone is.
I am
too.
That's a very terrifying name.
Yes. Ultimately, the assassin says that he would rather Wolfie kill him than whoever she is. So Wolfie's like, happy to oblige, my friend.
Done and done.
Yeah. Simon asks if he can help. He's never killed anybody before, but he's eager to try. So he comes up with Wolfie. Wolfie puts his hand on the guy. His life starts draining from him. And then Simon puts his hand on the guy, too, and then his head explodes.
Wow.
There is a head explosion
Finally.
in this book. Oh, my God.
There. My secret's out. We
You
can
happy?
stop. We can stop pretending, and those idiots on that podcast can stop doing that bit.
We'll see about that.
Good luck trying to get us to stop a bit at any time. So now they're covered in blood and they're extremely horny. So they go back to the half-ruined limo and they fuck in the back of the limo.
Yes.
Yes. Wolfie loses his virginity, everybody. Wolfie gets to fuck Simon.
Cheers.
So nice. Good for you. As expected, is extremely rough. They only use spit as lubricant. Guys, I'm serious. That's dangerous. Don't do that.
Yeah. Get a nice silicone-based or water-based. Excuse me. Yeah, thank you. I knew what I meant.
Yeah. Technically, you can use silicone, but if you're going to use toys, you have to use water-based because silicone will fuck up your toys.
Yeah.
This is when Wolfie starts calling Simon boss as a sign of endearment. They spend the
That
night
is adorable.
fucking and being sort of generally happy as fat cats. The next day, they go to Luca's house, where they are told that the council cannot come to an agreement about Wolfie and Simon because of past loyalties to Apocalypto Man and Glacial Girl and questions about how they died. The council will not help them, but they will also not interfere in whatever Wolfie decides he wants to do. So, I guess it's like the UN saying, well, we're not going to stop the war crimes. It's like the UN.
Yeah.
And,
We'll send a peace force.
yeah. And then Luca shares a video that was found on the body of the exploded assassin. It is a video of Apocalypto Man sitting in front of the camera, talking directly to the camera, talking to Wolfie and promising vengeance. However, he is wearing his soup mask, and his soup mask is a full Supe Incan death god mask. So
Ooh.
anybody could be under there. They don't actually have confirmation that Apocalypto Man is still alive.
Sure.
Before they leave, Luca decides he wants to test a theory about Simon. He blasts Simon with a power pulse, but Simon pushes it away easily. He might not be super, but he definitely is Wolfgang's Inventus for real, because now he has powers. He got him from Wolfgang. Okay, now Simon's fucked in the head.
Interesting wrinkle,
freaking
yeah.
out. He doesn't know what to do. He's reeling. He shuts down. When they get back home, Wolfie's like, what can I do to help you? Anything at all. And so Simon sits down at his feet and lays his head in his lap, and he's feeling comforted by that. But then Wolfie starts stroking his head, and then he sticks a couple fingers in his mouth. And that's really comforting, too. And it turns out that all Simon really needs to feel better is to suck on something. So then he just sucks on Wolfgang's cock for a while.
Yeah.
Until he falls
As
asleep
one
with
does.
his dick in his mouth. And he stays that way.
I was going to say, you think you don't want to get up when a cat's falling asleep on you.
Right. I mean, I've had my drunken nights falling asleep while eating Taco Bell, but never anything quite that,
Intense.
We are not living our best lives, apparently.
I guess not. I don't think I could. I don't think I could. I'm a mouth breather when I sleep. I can't have something in there.
Snore City right there.
Yeah.
Right. So while Simon is asleep in his lap, Wolfgang does a few like email-y boss man things until he wakes up.
Updates his Chewy order. I gotta get 2 bags of litter this time. That wasn't enough.
Man.
Jesus.
This dog eats like a pig.
And then he gets a phone call from Zanny, who has called to let him know that Simon is only half human, and they can't figure out what the other half is because the DNA doesn't match any soup on file, like any genetic sample that they have on file. So they don't know who his dad is, but his mom's human, so his dad is a meta-human of some kind.
Time to do a superhero 23andMe.
Yep. Eventually, he does get Simon up and like tell him to go to bed. Can't just stay there all night. Once Simon is in bed, he texts Luca for more information about the possibility of a soup with no powers. And Luca's like, I think you should meet my friend. He's an anthropologist in Argentina. Wolfgang does not want to go to Argentina because that's where his dad is from.
Right.
But he goes anyway because he wants to get as much information as he can out to help Simon. But when he lands, he immediately starts having flashbacks about the worst of the abuse he ever suffered. And that is when Apocalypto Man hunted him through the woods of Argentina in the dead of night. And Wolfgang barely survived. He was 8.
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Aggressive.
I mean,
bad.
I didn't think I was going to have to hunt my son until he was like 12.
Yeah, it's usually like around adolescence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to. You don't want to hunt him too early and scar him.
I'm so glad I'm not a man. I don't have to hunt my children.
No, God, no. They're always up your ass.
They are up my ass. I wouldn't even have to hunt them. I would just have to turn around.
Yep.
So they get on the plane. Wolfie briefly tells the story of how he met Eric. He met him by accidentally saving his life, a point of great shame for him. Because he did something heroic. And then they go and join the Mile High Club. In this scene, there is consensual non-consent and rimming. God dang it! It was a good scene too, but it was deeply CNC. There was a lot of like begging to stop kind of stuff.
Any safe words?
Oh, they established safe words earlier,
okay,
so
good.
they would have used them if
Got
they
it.
needed them.
Got it.
In Argentina, they meet with Dr. Lorenzo Torres Maldonado, who I just called Dr. TM through the rest of my notes because Torres Maldonado is a lot of syllables.
That is a mouthful.
He has been working and studying in this particular cave location for years. He takes them to it and shows them a massive cave mural similar to the Cueva de las Manos, the Cave of Hands.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Walls with all those they're outlines of hands.
Yep.
It's similar in art style and dated to the same period, so it's pre-human history, except this particular mural portrays hordes of enemies invading and humans fighting them off. These enemies are winged, horned, and fanged, and they are definitely winning because they're also way bigger. Dr. TM believes that this painting depicts the moment that soups invaded and became the dominant species on Earth.
Wow.
But then through a combination of interbreeding with humans, mimicry, and general evolution, only the modern soup remains.
Interesting.
That is fascinating
I
as
know,
fuck.
right? It's wonderful. Then Dr. TM explains that there was a security breach at this dig site from the original team 75 years ago, and that information was funneled to wealthy superpowers who then used it to blackmail soups to become their lackeys by threatening to make this information public and start a war.
Wow.
That's how the humans got all of the soups to be their slaves.
They fucked them.
They fucked them.
Damn.
Exactly.
And not even in like the fun way.
No, a really bad, shitty way. Anyway, so then he also tells them that there's one more thing he needs to show them. He moves the light slightly, and there is a large and very dramatic cave painting of the face of the Incan death god Supe, or Apocalypto Man. We're not really sure, but it's terrifying either way.
Motherfucker.
Yep. And finally, he reveals that soups with original DNA sequences still exist. Ancestral DNA sequences still exist. They appear to be powerless until they pair bond with someone whose powers they can then borrow.
Oh.
So that's who Simon's dad is. He's a soup with
shit.
no powers, but he has a genetic mutation that makes him able to be an inventus. Basically, it's super cool. They
That's
get into
pretty
the genetic
wild.
stuff in the epilogue. It's really neat.
See, Rochelle, if you ever want to learn how to put together a pitch packet for a comic book,
Yes.
holy shit, because not only do you apparently write magnificent smut, but your
plot
lore-
devices are great.
Your plot devices are great. Your lore is great. This is fucking fuck. Man, this is so fucking cool.
It's so good. I love this story. This storyline is so much fun. The deep soup lore. I love it. So then Wolfgang makes an offer to Dr. TM that he could not possibly refuse. He offers full infinite funding and all of the data stored in his secure, fireproof facility so that he never has to worry about it being lost. The Suarez clan is now in full control of this entire dig site also. So they're the ones who have control of this information from now on. They don't have to worry about humans getting it ever again. Next, they call Bunny, who does admit that she's not really clear on who Simon's dad is. She's not sure. She's an alcoholic, and she's not really aware of what's happening most of the time, but she's pretty sure that he was an artist who lived in Big City.
Okay.
So it's something to go on at least. But that's all the information that she has. And then they have sex again, but this time Wolfie asks to bottom.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Just a
Simon...
bunch of firsts.
Yes. So Wolfie loses his anal virginity. Yay! We should throw this man a party. Well, I guess he already had a party. His own private naked party.
Comfortable place to
Yeah.
sit.
Yeah. So Simon is just as rough as a top as Wolfie is. Don't expect a vibe shift when you read this scene. It's exactly the same. It's just in reverse. They're both verses. They're both dommy. But it's a fantastic scene. There is rimming, more filthy French, and so much coming. So much. And I think they fall asleep in it. Again, guys, you're going to be so itchy in the morning.
Getting a rash.
Please, wash your sheets. Put down a towel. When they fall asleep, Simon promises as he drifts off that not even death can keep them apart. And Wolfie drops his first L-bomb, but Simon can't say it back. Simon's got some walls of his own. It takes him a long time.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, he is a psychopath. When he wakes up the next morning, he finds that Balthazar is in his hotel room and not Wolfgang. And Wolfie has left. He left in the middle of the night with no warning. So Simon is fucking pissed. He does some digging in Wolfie's laptop, finds the last person that he spoke to was one of the twins. So he FaceTimes the twins. The twins try to psychically bitch slap him from halfway across the globe, but they can't do it, which gains him their respect. So they do like a sort of, I don't know, like it's like they have a psychic air tag on Wolfgang because they're just like, he's in Iceland. They can just find him, I guess, which is great because now they know where he is. But Iceland is where their mother is from. And that's the moment they realize that nobody ever found Glacial Girl's body.
That
Oh.
bitch.
Right.
That glacial bitch.
That glacial bitch. So Simon sets Xander and Butch to work on the task of getting the river dredged just to see if they can find her body before they fly out to Iceland to come and join whatever's happening over there. Then he and Balthazar fly to Iceland. It takes them an entire day because they don't have the private plane. So Simon's fucking pissed to begin with because he had to fly coach like a chump. But eventually they do find him. He is inside of Glacial Girl's childhood home. Oh, also at some point in that scene, he got really, really mad at Balthazar, and so he just poked him in the chest, but he has Wolfgang's powers now, so he sent him flying across the room in, like, terrible pain, because he has
Well,
the
that
hand
had
of
to be
death
satisfying.
power. It's fucking cool. He has the hand of death power, but he can turn it on and off at will. After about an hour of staking out Glacial Girl's childhood home, he can't take it anymore, and he's really fucking bored, so he decides that they're going to infiltrate. And so Simon is planning on doing that quietly, going around the back, but Balthazar is called Baby Hulk for a good reason. He hulks out. He actually gets physically larger and rips out of all of his clothing, which is then very disturbing because his giant dick is swinging around for the rest of the scene. But he goes and he just busts the front of the building down, and Simon's like, okay, great, now I have a distraction. He runs around the back of the building and he sneaks in quietly like he was going to in the first place, and he finds Wolfie is chained to a chair with ice manacles. Glacial Girl has been torturing him all night. She is slowly freezing his veins, which really fucking, that sounds awful.
Terrible. It does sound
Sounds
horrific.
awful. So he's planning on just going up and helping Wolfgang, but then he notices Apocalypto Man sitting in the corner, just staring, but he's still wearing his mask. So he decides, you know what, fuck this, enough is enough. He walks right in, starts ruffling feathers and fucking insulting everyone in the way that only Simon can, making you feel stupid and ugly at the same time. Like, he's really, really good at this. On his way in, set a live wire into the watery, like, floor of this place as well. So now the floor is electrified.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He uses that to his advantage later. Then he goes over to Apocalypto Man and rips his mask off and reveals that he is still a corpse. Apocalypto Man's been dead this whole time. Why the fuck do you have your dead husband sitting in the corner?
Comfort.
What? Did you
It's
put
a
him
real
back
Weekend
in
at Bernie's
his
vibe.
Right?
What? Seriously. It's like the Addams Family. They always make jokes about Granny digging up her husband over and over.
Oh,
again.
yeah.
They keep hiding his corpse, and she just keeps finding it again. Until eventually, this all comes to a head, and he declares that he is Wolfie's Inventus, and because he is a normie, this is what sets Glacial Girl off the most, because she's a classist and a racist. She cannot imagine a reality wherein her son, the firstborn of the Suarez clan, would ever have a mating bond with a human. How gross. And Wolfie, he zones in on that, and he starts going off about how, oh, he's just some fanboy, blah, 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 trying to get her to think that he might actually apologize or something. And then he says that maybe they should just kill him. Maybe they should just kill Simon to make it easier on everyone. So Glacial Girl pushes Simon directly into Wolfie's arms, and Simon pretends to die, but only so that he can slide directly down Wolfie's body, reach his hand into his pant leg, grab that knife, and stab Signe in the leg with it. He stabs Glacial Girl in the leg, and it doesn't kill her, but that hand of death DNA is enough to break her power over all of the ice in the room, so Wolfgang's manacles disappear. He snatches Simon off of the ground and starts to leave, but she throws up an ice wall. He thinks they're going to have a fight, but then Xander and Butch arrive. And Wolfgang ultimately decides, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Simon's been telling me this entire time that I need to start delegating more, that I don't have to do this all by myself. You know what? Xander gets to kill Mom. Congratulations, buddy. You get to kill Mom. And then they ride off into the sunset.
Job.
Him and Simon ride off into the sunset and leave Butch and Xander to murder their mother. It's great. Fantastic. Violencia is also back on their team now that she realizes that her mother had been lying to her this whole time about a bunch of stuff, and that she never would have joined Glacial Girl if she had known the truth, that she would rather be with her brothers. And so the day is saved and all is well. End of book.
Huzzah.
There is an epilogue.
Always an epilogue.
It's rather short. Wolfgang has now delegated most of his clan tasks to various members of the family, and he is in semi-retirement. Simon now runs the day-to-day operations, and they only use Wolfgang when they really need to scare somebody. So they really don't use him that much anymore. And Xander is doing a bunch of research into metahuman DNA and Inventus DNA. They discover that every member of the Suarez clan has the genetic mutation that makes them an Inventus. So everybody's going to get an Inventus at some point in all of these books. Fantastic. And now, next thing on their list, Simon is going to kidnap Wolfgang to his own wedding. Surprise him with his own wedding. But it's going to start with a kidnapping. The end. And they all lived villainously ever after.
The best weddings start with a
man.
kidnapping.
All the best weddings start with a kidnapping.
Wow. That was a ride.
Oh
that
my God.
That one ran real long.
It did. I'm so sorry.
No,
everyone.
it was worth it. It was worth it. So yeah, that was seriously. I know we wanted to have Josh back on the show because, you know, Josh and I are the big comic book nerds, so we lend that to the proceedings. But Josh, would you agree? See Rochelle crushing the
Absolutely.
soups
Like
element?
you mentioned her writing a book. She could easily jump right into writing comics, I think, without really missing a beat.
She could.
Oh yeah, and
She has all that background in graphic art and
Yep.
design.
That too.
ended
She
up
could easily
with-
storyboard her own stuff
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she could do so much.
and if you follow her on Instagram, you see that she has she posted that diagram of what one of her characters' dicks is going to look like.
A weird monster dick that she needed to illustrate for her husband.
Yeah.
I thought when she posted it, I thought it looked like one of those weird 3D printed fidget slugs because it has like
It did.
like ridged. It's got she calls it armadillo plating,
Ooh.
and it's supposed to be like it looks more like a tentacle. It's supposed to be wiggly, so it made me think of 3D printed fidget slug. I loved it. It's so creative. I love it so much.
That is creative. And you know what else is creative?
What?
This is a terrible segue. Well, let's get right to our segment.
Yes.
And Josh, what are you into?
Right now?
Yeah. So, what are you into?
So, the thing I would probably put over right now is the new Crime and Stereo album. I've been a big fan of for a really long time. Just come back from a near decade-long hiatus, like 9 years, something like that. With probably one of their best albums to date. It's very feel like New York hardcore meets like shoegazy kind of like riffy delay pedals.
Ooh,
lot of good stuff. Yeah,
you had. Now I'm not familiar with them, but you have.
Dude.
So one song off the album, off the new album.
Let me get the title right because I'm not sure that I know it off. I believe it's called Goliath, like spelled like Goliath, but with an ETTE at the end.
Like a little Goliath.
Yes. Oddly enough. I believe that's the title of the track. Let me just make
They
sure.
named it Baby Hulk.
Yeah,
It is. It's but like the midpoint of the record. It's a really good album. They're all very big like gear nerds and guitar nerds. So it's funny, they released like a statement. Yeah, they love
Wonder Effect pedals.
they don't have any Wonder Effect pedals. Probably
Sorry,
not.
We have a friend who makes pedals.
Yeah,
they might because they've toured with Swellers a couple times. So I'm sure that those dudes talk a little bit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, cool.
Excuse me.
You should. Yeah,
But,
you're excused. Okay.
They made like a reference when the album came out. They were like, as gear nerds, we'd have to mention, there are keys and Moog on this album on 2 songs. He goes, anything else you hear is a guitar and a delay pedal. He goes, and we're very proud of that.
Aw, that's so nice.
Very austere setup, and I thank you. So I'm going to link to a song from or video from that album in the show notes if anybody wants to check that out. Katie,
Yes.
what are you into?
I am into a show on Netflix called The Midnight Club. It's based on a Christopher Pike book of the same name, The Midnight Club. Christopher Pike was one of my favorite authors in high school. He writes Goosebumps for the slightly older set. So Goosebumps, but when your hormones start kicking in, you get horny. And I loved him. And I was really, really excited to hear that anything of his had been adapted because nothing ever has before. The Midnight Club is about teenagers in a long-term hospice facility. So teenagers who are actively dying. And they meet every night and they tell scary stories. And those scary stories are also, like an episode within the episode, are also Christopher Pike stories. So it's a bunch of Christopher Pike all packed in together. The acting is absolutely incredible, but there's this one actress. She is so fucking amazing. Her name is Ruth Codd, and she is Scottish, I believe, She was first famous as a TikToker, and now she's an actress. She's so fucking talented. I watched 4 episodes, and I was just glued to her the whole time. She's so good at being angry at the fact that she's got cancer, and it's just amazing. So The Midnight Club on Netflix. There's 1 season currently. I don't know if there's going to be more seasons. I hope there are, but it was technically 1 book, and the book is done now, so maybe it's done. Either way, I highly recommend checking it out. It's spooky. It's not spooky season anymore, but who cares? Because it's great.
It's always
What about
spooky
you, Henry?
season in our hearts.
Oh yes.
Right. With me,
Yeah. What are you into?
I'm into a dude.
A dude? Which
I'm into
dude?
a dude. I am into Jason Benetti.
Jason Benetti. Welcome
Jason
to Detroit.
Benetti, welcome to Detroit. Former Chicago White Sox play-by-play announcer, now Detroit Tigers television play-by-play announcer, one of the best in the goddamn game, coming to Detroit. He was born in the Chicago area. His dream was to call games for the White Sox. He did for 8 years. Apparently the White Sox were like, yeah, we don't really want you to go and do national broadcasts all that much for football and baseball. And the Tigers were like, yeah, man, come on in. And we Tigers fans are he brought the Tigers subreddit together for one day. It was the one day we all agreed on everything. And that's the kind of man he is. So Jason Benetti, welcome to Detroit. I can't wait to watch all 127 games that you'll be broadcasting next year. He does have a limited schedule because he does have other responsibilities. But in those games, our amazing radio guy, or our amazing radio play-by-play guy, Dan Dickerson, is going to slide over into the TV booth. And that's great for him. So as a Tigers fan, I couldn't be more excited. Let's wrap this up. Anybody else got anything that they want to say?
Thank you for having me, and I had fun. It's always good to hang with you guys.
Absolutely.
I look forward to the next one we do. The next one is Balti.
Same. But in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at Cheap Smut. If you would like to email us, you can do so, cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. If you like your communication more real-timey, you can join the Smutco Industries Discord. The link is in the show notes. If you want to check out this book and buy it for yourself, you can go to our link tree, which is also in the show notes, and we will have a link to it right at the top of the link tree. Not an affiliate link. We don't get paid for this. We just want you to have easy access to it. The song that you hear in this and every episode of the show is called Nostalgia by Mackay Beats. You can find it along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org. Don't even tell these people what we're reading next week. We are so over time. I'm kidding. Tell them what we're reading.
Next week, we are reading Goat Girl by Sylvia Morrow. This book is about the fallout and what happens after a superhero and villain attack. So I thought it would be a great way to follow up this book. So next week, Goat Girl by Sylvia Morrow, and I'm very excited.
Can't wait. Send us home.
Listener, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she will come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
And now it's time for us to be done, because this is a long episode.
Goodbye. Say bye to everybody, Josh.
Bye, Josh.
Bye, everybody.